Close one. Oh, getting better.
What's up? Welcome back to STLT. Thank you for joining us this week. Last week, we left Almerimar, spent the night on a fisherman loading zone and arrived in Cartagena to enjoy the view. Also, we showed you where to go when you want to leave the map.
This way!
This week, we touch base in Almerimar. We're getting out, slowly. Watch this video if you want to know what it's like to do a night sail along the Spanish coastline and what kind of preventer system doesn't work.
We plan to just sail straight through Malaga basically in the coming days because we finally have some good winds coming, but they die down within 2.5 days and then 2 days of nothing, and then they turn around back again to southwest. We're just preparing today to sail for maybe 1.5 days straight, have a short sleep and then do the last leg to Malaga. Whilst Alex is fixing some stuff outside, I have been working inside and you can see it's quite hot. 31.5 degrees in here. This is insane. I've been cooking. I made a very nice meatball tomato sauce with, well actually it's curry meatballs with tomato sauce. It's really good. It has loads of leek and green peppers and just green vegetables actually, except for the tomato. And it tastes amazing. I made a very big batch, so the coming days we can eat it, because I think we'll be sailing for probably 1.5 to 2 days, because the winds are only there for a short time.
So a few episodes, weeks, whatever, days back, you might remember we lost our outboard to the sea. It runs like a charm, but we still have the old oil in it from when we flushed it. So now it's been running for a while already, and it's time to change it and see if there's water in the oil. We have to change to proper oil with the right grade of numbers. So now we have the right one. We're gonna drain it all and refill it. Got it.
In the towel.
I think we're fine.
It is so hot. I don't know what to do with my life. I want the sun to go down. We're gonna have a nice dinner, because sometimes it's nice to have a nice dinner out. And just enjoy last evening on land before we sail for 2 days, 3 days. I think I can sort of live with that. We haven't taken you guys into town yet. Cartagena is quite nice, but well, I think in the end we never really go into marina because we want to go into town. We do it because we have jobs to do, we want to sleep, and we prepare for a longer passage, something like that. But tonight we decided to still go out for some dinner. It has a nice flair and a nice feeling to it when you're going there after the sunset and the heat has gone away a little bit. So let's see. Finally got my fries! And they look really good. I saw on Google Maps the pictures and they looked really awesome, so I ordered some next to our normal food actually. Real good. Oh.
We went to this restaurant called Alhambra, which serves Moroccan food, which is really good. This is a chicken pie that is actually sweet and cinnamony, and that is kofte, meatballs in really nice sauce. If you get the chance, try Moroccan food.
What I really like about the Spanish places are the bigger cities. This one has it, Malaga had it, Granada had it too, probably more cities too. But they have marmor tiles on the street. The streets in the center just look so amazing. And Alex said before, the difference between Cartagena and Valencia, which is really nice, is that there is a real center where you have no cars. So it's just pedestrians here.
There's a Valencia center.
Probably, yeah,
It's
but
very far away from the marina, that's the difference.
yeah, okay, so that's the difference. It's so far away, you don't really get there. And the places we've seen in Valencia, they're just always really loud because of all the cars everywhere, and somehow this city feels a lot more quiet. It's really nice. Life is not always smooth. Ooh, look at that brightness. Just brought the key back. We filled up our tank with our jerry cans of diesel. Turns out we are still not full, so we're gonna have to go get some more diesel over there in the other marina, because it's gonna be a long couple of days and we want to be sure to have enough. And then yeah, we're off. It's really not that sunny, which is nice. I like that. So hopefully there's some good winds out there. It's gonna be wavy, but let's hope everything combined works good today. It's gonna be a long sail. Let's go.
So while we were in Cartagena, we thought of a nifty preventer solution because the one that we used until now was a bit basic. It's alright, it's how people do it. They put we put a line on the boom, then fed it to the forward cleat, and then fed that line on deck to the stern cleat, and then tied that up. So we had our preventer. We could just release it from here if we wanted to jibe, and then we just had to set up all over again. Something's happening.
It's a good thing we set up the preventer already when we left the bay, because since the wind is really turning all the time here and it's not that strong, we already would have jibed if it wasn't for the preventer. I think the wind's just not strong enough yet. We need to get out of this big bay, kind of, where Cartagena is in. There's a bay and that is kind of in a bigger bay. And if we're out there, a bit further out, we should be fine to sail for the next 24 hours or something. But here, close to the coast, there is fishing farms and buoys and fishing nets and, well, tankers that are anchored. So we're trying to get out a bit, but we do like 3 knots. So it will take us at least 1.5 hours to get really out.
But we wanted to have something better.
Like more permanent.
Or like a permanent solution that you just could clip in. So now we spliced some Dyneema line and we put it on the boom. And we fed the Dyneema line just next to the gooseneck where there's a little cleat, and we just tie up that Dyneema line there. So we just then take it from the boom and clip it into a line that is led through a block on the tow rail, and that line then is fed back through the fair lead
outside
to the stern fair lead, and then back to a winch or the cleat. And this way we don't have the line on deck because it's fed right at the tow rail and then outside of the boat. When we jibe, we can just change the preventer by just unclipping and reclipping on the other side. We're gonna try this today. We're actually going dead downwind already with little wind and an occasional gust that jibes us. So it's a good test.
Yeah.
And it seems to work fine.
True. It's a very nice system.
Yeah, I like it. Also, we found a great new way to store the dinghy, so now it's not on deck anymore. We have free sight, and we deflated the paddle board.
Here we have an empty deck.
So our deck is completely empty, which is really nice. And the dinghy is actually on the stern now. It doesn't really look that far on a map, but it will take us a night sail to go past Cabo de Gata and through the Gulf of Almerimar. Usually we would have stopped along the way, but since we have limited time with favorable winds, we push west as long as we can. Gibraltar dictates the winds. It's either blowing into or out of the Med. And it seems like wind on the nose is coming our way in just a few days' time.
Go up, we go walk. We've been, well, we have time because the sail is super comfortable. I hope the wind's not too bad in this mic, by the way. And we've been, since we're going to sail tonight and we haven't put our jack stays back on, I figured we should do that. So we had a look at what's in our locker, because there's loads of surprises in there. And we actually found a very short jack stay, and we're like, where's that for? And then Alex came up with the brilliant idea.
It was me.
It was Alex. That maybe we can just attach this in the cockpit, and then you can actually put your tether that you attach to your life jacket to this, so you actually have way more movement when you're in the cockpit at night, because we used to just use these and clip right into this and switch from that one to the one on the other side to the one over there. But this is way smarter. So, but who found back the Dyneema line that we lost? Me! Oh, we have a book of mean thoughts. And every day when we have a mean thought, we have to write it in the book. And we have mean thoughts. Here we go, Dyneema line. We're having such ridiculously perfect conditions today. I can't get over it. With all the really bad sails we've had all along the coast. And the only good sail was actually to Ibiza and from Ibiza. I'm very happy today. And when we're lucky, we get to sail at least 150 miles up to 200 before the wind dies down and we have to motor. Ow. Ow. Alex is still busy. How long can you take?
So every sailing channel ever shows you dolphins in their intros. I don't know, we have seen dolphins how often in 1 year?
I think 3 times when they actually came and swim. And people saw whales.
Yeah, that's what they say. I don't believe that.
You throw really hard. This is funny. I haven't written down mean thoughts in a while. We're doing good. Baby!
Hey.
Have you seen how blue the water is, by the way?
No. Oh yeah. Yeah? Yes!
Oh!
No?
I'm so disappointed! Every time!
The Almerimar Sea is full of wildlife, we heard, so that means that...
That's ours though, then.
Yeah. Well, not with us.
Been keeping an eye on this cargo ship next to us, or well, it was behind us, but it was coming straight at us basically. So for the past 20 minutes I've been checking its course on AIS, and it was coming closer and closer and closer. And Alex was asleep, so I was hoping it would just go away. But when it was kind of at our height, I could see that it went off about 10 degrees off course. Yeah, it saw us and it's going straight, and when it's past us it will probably go back on course, so that's nice. Big cargo ship. Dangerous target. But still quite comfortable. We're going a bit slower now. From time to time we only do 3.5 knots. I think even though the wind's not that bad, but the waves are getting a bit bigger. And they are slamming us from time to time, so that slows us down a bit. We've gone off course towards, well, the African coast a bit, away from Spain, because then the way the waves hit our beam are a bit more comfortable. We've been sailing at a 90-degree wind angle all day, because it was the only way we could gain some speed and not get pushed around by the waves too much. But that angle got more and more and more south until we were headed straight for Africa. So that doesn't really work. So if we wanted to go on course, we kind of have to go dead downwind. But we have about 8 to 10 knots of ground wind, and then going downwind it doesn't really work. So we're doing about 1.8 knots right now. Just trying to go with the waves so we don't wobble too much. We had to take in the Genoa because that was just flapping too much, and we just fixated the main with the preventer, and that's what's giving us 2 knots more or less. And we're almost headed straight for Cabo de Gata. So let's see what happens in the next hours. Maybe the wind picks up a bit, or maybe we have to motor, or maybe we go 2 knots for the whole night. But the fact is that the autopilot can't handle slow speeds like this. It just goes in circles, so you have to hand steer. It's going to be an interesting night.
In the smoky light and in the rain, working through the night and through the haze, you lay it down each day with heavy eyes, just to wake again, just as tired. So may every morning find the mercy and light enough to shine upon the fallow fields.
Alex and I just changed shifts about, I don't know, what, less than an hour ago, I think. Probably. After Alex had been sleeping for a bit, then I sailed until it was dark by hand, and then there were some buoys. And first I thought it was a boat because it was a green light, and then suddenly it was really close and very small, and I thought, okay, that can't be a boat. And then I saw more in a very nice, neat row. So I woke up Alex and was like, ooh, maybe we shouldn't go through it. You never know with the fishing buoys. Turned out we turned around, tried to get around it, but for miles and miles and miles, every time there was a new green light. So we were like, okay, shit. We keep going like this, we're gonna go. We were heading back, and took me so long to make a couple miles because it was doing like 1.8, 2.2 knots. So at some point we went through anyway, and everything was fine, so that was cool. But they keep showing up everywhere, these really long lines with buoys, green buoys, and I don't know. So yeah, that's less fun, so we decided to go out a bit further again from the coast and hope that we don't encounter any there, but we're actually 15-20 miles off the coast and they're still there, so I don't know if they go away. So that was the less fun part. It was quite stressful actually, because it was dark and we had to tack and pull out to Genoa, take the preventer off, and it was all not working so well. And then in the end we decided to go through and everything was fine. Yeah, and then we decided to take down the main, roll in Genoa and just go on the engine, because doing 1.7 knots, it will take us like 20 hours to get to Cabo de Gata. It will be tomorrow night, so that makes no sense at all. And so I went to sleep, and after like half an hour Alex wakes me up and he's like, Mandy, there's dolphins. Like, really? How can you see it? It's pitch black. But you can see them so well. I mean, you couldn't see it on camera, so we didn't film, but they were lighting up somehow, I think, because of our light. So you could see like the white stripes, and you could see them swim from the back of the boat all the way to the bow. And it was so cool, and they were jumping, and they stayed quite long. So all day we've been sailing, and they don't come, and now we're on engine making lots of noise, and they suddenly come and play at night. So that was really cool. I really wish we would have a lens with which we could film the starry sky, because it is so amazing to see the Milky Way, and it's so beautiful, but you see nothing on camera. Maybe one day we have a lens for that.
Every blossom break into the day. Up from underneath the gravel and the clay. Decades pass until the first gives way unto the last. For gardens in the spring, miles of green, to see the seasons heal. Like before, and what was sown in tears will reap with joy.
There is fishing boats literally all around us, and they are all going in different directions, and they are all trawling, and I can't really get around them because you know they're all going in different directions, and I always somehow encounter one of them. So there's one right in front of me now, and we're gonna cross courses soon, and I really don't know if I should go further downwind, which doesn't really work. Don't think I'll be able to outrun it. Also the waves will make it difficult in the wind, but also I don't want to go behind it because I don't know how long the nets are close to the surface, and I tried to find that out, and I think we should be fine crossing somewhere behind it. I just don't know if it has to be 500 meters or a kilometer, or if 20 meters is fine. So kind of stressful. Don't really know what to do. Kind of hope that I can pass it in the front, so I'm trying that. And then I at least dodged 2 bullets and only have 2 more to go. Good.
Breakfast.
Breakfast. Oh, looks amazing. Thanks, Boo. Stuff in the world from Holland.
Bless your heart, don't let me go. She
We arrived in Almerimar in the afternoon, and if you watch Ryan and Sophie sailing, you'll definitely recognize this lighthouse. The place is another great winter marina, as prices are very low during low season. In summer, on the other hand, we found it a bit expensive and we only stayed one night. But more on that next week. So we actually didn't tell you why the preventer system didn't work. The shackle that was attached to the tow rail and the block exploded. Here's a picture of it.
We decided to go downstairs, to both of us, because we trusted the preventer and the steady winds, which weren't steady and which wasn't strong enough. And then when I went up, there was a gust and I saw the sail flying over my head and the shackle exploded.
It's a few months later now, and we actually changed the preventer system a bit. Instead of just going through the fair leads, we got a low friction ring and we lead the line on deck, but on the side of the tow rail back to the cleat. And we also found a better angle for the preventer, so the load is more perpendicular to the boom. So I don't believe we're gonna get another exploding shackle. I'm quite sure.
Fingers crossed.
We often hear that one of the reasons that you subscribe is because of our music choices. So we created a Spotify playlist that is linked down below that includes all the songs that we use in the videos. And if you enjoy a tune of this week's episode, you're in luck, because we update it every week. On a different note, get it?
Oh, now I get it.
If you're a YouTube creator yourself and you want to find nice songs like these for your videos, we use the music licensing platform audio.com. We like their selection because they have established artists and also big motion picture composers. So it's kind of a grown-up selection and not kids' music. Another thing that separates them from the rest is that they have a lifetime plan. So there's no monthly fees involved. You pay once and you can use it forever. And that's pretty amazing. So if you want to check out their selection, I'm going to link it down below as well. And also, we have a discount code for you, so if you want to buy one of their plans, you get 10% if you use the code See the Little Things 10. That is SEETHELETTHINGS 10. Thanks for watching this week's episode. Next week we're going to leave Almerimar and head further west. Who would have thought? Well, thanks for joining. See you next week. Bye bye.